In a world where winters reach minus 50 degrees Celsius, where poutine reigns supreme, and where one wrong comment about hockey could end friendships, two Canadians step up to guide you through it all. This isn't just about Canada, it's survival, with a side of satire. So you've decided to flee your MAGA state and move to Canada. Bold move. But before you start dreaming of free healthcare and legal weed, let's talk about surviving your first Canadian winter. It's not just cold, it's a personality test.
Let's just say, it's colder than Trump's handshake at a NATO summit.
For those fleeing the chaos of the USA, welcome to the Great White North, where layering is an art form and winter transforms those who think 30 degrees Fahrenheit is cold into true northerners. Winter in Canada isn't just cold, it's a badge of honor. Survive it, and you've earned the right to complain about spring like a true Canadian.
In Canada, winter isn't something we suffer through. It's something we own. Yes. Even if it means your eyelashes freeze and your coffee turns to slush before you've even had a chance to have a sip. If you think 30 degrees Fahrenheit is cold, well, wait until you meet minus 30. That's the kind of cold that instantly freezes your nostrils the minute you step outside. No joke.
It's happened. At another note, you're going to have to learn Celsius now. That's right, no more Fahrenheit. 0 degrees? Well, that's when water freezes. Minus 10? Well, that's when Canadians start saying, it's a bit brisk out, eh? And for anything below that, well, let's just say you're not truly ready for the cold until you've had your eyelashes freeze together. So the key to surviving a Canadian winter is mental toughness. Think of it like scrolling through Trump's Twitter feed back in the day. You'll want to scream, but you just keep on going.
And here's the thing. Canadians, we don't just endure winter, we embrace it. We have generations of people who have survived the worst blizzards while still managing to get themselves to the hockey rink at 5 a.m. for a game of pickup. But here's the thing, whatever you do, make sure to post it all on social media because nothing gets more likes than proving just how cold of temperatures you can survive.
And proving to your American friends just how tough you are while they're arguing about the price of eggs.
Trust us, the winter freeze beats book bans, culture wars, and attacks on a woman's right to choose every time. But don't worry, we've got your back, and we're going to get you through a Canadian winter, one frozen nostril at a time. The first thing you're going to need is to learn how to dress.
And what we like to say up here is you gotta dress like an onion.
Layer, layer, layer.
Layering just isn't a fashion choice here, it's actual survival. Just imagine dressing like an onion, but instead of tears, you're shedding icicles.
Let's start with your base layer. We have leggings and tops, and that's the perfect layer because they are breathable and moisture wicking to wick away that sweat. Because believe it or not, you sweat in the winter.
And unlike certain presidents, it's reliable, dependable, and actually does the job it's supposed to do. Next, you're gonna want to slap on a mid-layer, like fleece pants or an Arc'teryx fleece jacket.
Your favorite.
It is, and it's Canadian.
And on top of that, you might want to put on an outer windbreak and waterproof layer. But if it's really cold, you're going to need to slap on a parka.
You'll need a parka so thick, it'll stop one of Trump's lawsuits right in its tracks.
And if it makes you feel like you're walking like a marshmallow, you're doing a good job.
Winter will test you, but if you've got the right attitude like we do up here, and a bottle of Buckleys, you'll make it through.
Oh yeah, you're not officially a Canadian until you can take a swig of Buckleys without making a face.
It's awful, and it works.
And don't even think about complaining to another Canadian.
No, you'll get stories about the great storm of '99, or that one time that the snowbanks were as high as a telephone pole.
Canadians just love a good old story that starts with, well, when I was your age. Dave and I have spent a lot of time up near the Arctic Circle. One of our favorite things to do in Canada is to go on a polar bear safari on Hudson Bay with Churchill Wild. And let me tell you, if you can dress for that, you can dress for anything. And one of our best pieces of advice is to get hand and foot warmers.
Yep, because it's your extremities that are the first to go. That's why hand and foot warmers are a must. You just slip them into your gloves or boots, and then you can thank us later when you're not losing a toe to frostbite.
You're not truly a Canadian until you've had an in-depth conversation about which toe warmer works best. Do we go full foot or just the toes?
Now we should talk about boots because these are super important as well. Two things. You need to make sure they're insulated and you need to make sure that they're waterproof. You want boots so rugged that they'd survive an Alberta oil sands debate.
Oh! Think of it like this. They're like your winter team. And unlike Trump University, they'll actually do something useful and won't leave you out in the cold.
Oh, and don't forget you're gonna need accessories like a neck gaiter, a tuque, and mittens.
If you leave even 1 centimeter of skin exposed, let me tell you, the cold will find that skin faster than Trump will find new ways to blame Canada for all of his problems.
Think of it this way. If you're not questioning your life choices as you squeeze into all those layers, then you know what? You're not layering enough. And continuing along the waterproofing theme, you have to have waterproof gloves, jackets, and pants. You just need to become a human Ziploc bag. Airtight, watertight, and ready for action.
And unlike certain border walls, these all actually work and keep the elements out. Our best advice when it comes to spending a winter in Canada is learn to love winter activities.
Winter in Canada isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. If you're not snowshoeing, skiing, or ice skating, are you even trying? Canadians turn winter into a full contact sport, from backyard hockey rinks to competitive driveway shoveling. We've got it all up here.
Who can clean their driveway the fastest and help their neighbor first? And don't forget curling. It's basically our national sport after lacrosse and hockey. What is curling, you ask? Well, it's like shuffleboard, but on ice. Plus, nothing says I've embraced Canadian culture like sliding down the ice while yelling at a rock.
Hurry hard! Hurry hard!
And hey, if outdoor activities aren't your thing, it's okay. You can just lean into the cozy Canadian stereotype. Grab a blanket, make some hot chocolate with marshmallows, and start binge watching Schitt's Creek.
By the way, if you missed our video, Why Trump Wants Canada and Why He Can't Have It, we explained how Canada's got free healthcare, an actual functioning democracy, and yes, winters that will weed out the weak.
Yeah, Trump just wants to take over the entire world and rename anything. We're not having our own Gulf of Mexico up here in Canada. The Hudson Bay? It's staying the Hudson Bay. We're not letting you get your little hands on it and call it something like Bigley Bay.
And while we're at it, let's just remind everyone that you can't put a price on Canadian identity. Sorry, Trump, but this isn't one of your real estate deals, and Canada is not for sale.
So there you have it. How to survive a Canadian winter.
If you can handle this, you might just earn your honorary Canadian citizenship. And if not, well, there's always Florida.
But let's be real. Florida's just Canada's overheated attic that's full of bad decisions.
So stay warm, stay layered, and we'll see you next time.
And make sure to subscribe for more tips on surviving Canada's winters and surviving Trump.